What's up, boys? So, this is essentially how I used Google Calendar to increase my productivity by about 524%. And firstly, who am I? You just clicked on this video. If you don't know who I am already, or if you've never met me, you've never seen any of my content beforehand, I'm the founder of Performer X, which is my productivity coaching company. And pretty much like the past year and a half, I've been on a business journey. I've had several different businesses. I tried coaching, I tried flipping, I tried drop shipping, I tried all sorts of different things, and none of them really stuck until my previous coaching business, where I did sleep coaching. Really, really weird niche. I don't exactly know why. I remember why I picked it. I was really, really into health and optimizing my circadian rhythm and my sleep and my diet and all of that last year. And I remember I fell into like a real big rut where I forgot about a lot of it, and then I, you know, had like a real big identity change. I'll talk about that in another video sometime down the line. And pretty much I was just like not in a really good state, Like I was just really hopeless, not really good, like not had never really started making content like I made it in the past, and then, you know, like way back when I used to play video games up until I was like 14, 15, and then, after that hopped on self-improvement and then started that whole biohacking thing last year back in 2024. And then from there on, just like since I started that business, you know, I ate shit for the first 7 months, 8 months, just trying, hopping on calls, getting ghosted, working 12, 14, 16 hour days, and barely making any progress. And then this year, things started to kind of click with that sleep coaching business, and I started to work harder and more efficient and better than ever. And I remember like really like taking time to like optimize my routine and my schedule so that way I could like work really well with school. Because back then I had high school. That was when I was still in high school. I was in my final year of high school, and from there on out, like I had to figure out, okay, how am I gonna work like on my business whilst doing this, while still trying to do other things, hang out with mates and build like my life. And so how I figured it out was that I was able to work for like the first 2 hours of the day, and then also do another 2 hours of the day in the evening, and then also be able to eat, go to the gym, balance friends, life, sleep, all of that whilst doing my sleep coaching business. And I figured out a system via doing my Google Calendar to work on like the highest leverage tasks that I could and be as efficient at those as I could. And then I remember like first time I did it, as well as like implementing a couple new systems into my business. Like this year, January, I made like, my first 1K in a month. February was a bit slower, like around 500. March, April, like the start of most of April was pretty damn slow. And then after that point, that's when I really, really started to make a difference. I started just implement, I would wake up at like 5 each morning, and then I'd go straight. I wouldn't even like have a morning routine. I would just go straight to my like laptop, and if I didn't have school, I'd do my morning routine, and that was even better for me. And yeah, I just would work first 2 hours of the day incredibly efficiently, and then I'd have to go get ready for school, go eat my breakfast, my bulking breakfast at the time, and then go to school, come back home, go to the gym, go eat again, and then I'll do another 2 hours of work in the evening on the higher leverage tasks, and then from there I'll just essentially go to sleep and then repeat it all again. And I was eating shit for a month straight, just trying to make it work out up until about end of April. And then before I know, I had my first ever 1K in a day. I was feeling so good. I started making more and more and more money. I scaled up, like I literally went from like maybe $300 a month to about 500 a month. Sorry, 5,000 in a month. So I really scaled my previous business quite a lot at the time. And yeah, since then I've just started helping others be able to compress their deep work hours and be able to work on high leverage tasks in order to make more money. So you guys are gonna love this. This is gonna help you guys out so much, regardless if you've just started in business or if you are like making 5, 10K a month, 20K a month, this is going to help you out either way and really just make you more cash flow whilst working less. So anyways, in this presentation, we're going to dive into building like an actual clear, structured, optimized, and consistent routine for yourself to stick to and follow, which is one which is aligned with your goals, your vision, your dream self. You know, I've got my goals like right up on the wall, funnily enough, and we're going to be able to reverse engineer these inputs, which we can align into the calendar, which will help us get far more done in less time in a more clear, structured way and build more freedom. That's exactly what I did in April. Exactly what I did. I literally took time to build out a Google document of all like the inputs that I needed to do on a daily for my business, and then I identified the ones which are like high leverage, and then from there I just stopped working on everything else and I delegated most other tasks. Google Calendar planning. When you have more awareness and specificity on what you need to do each day, when you do it, and how you need to perform it, it allows you to get a real clear understanding of what you need to do, as opposed to your brain needing to overthink and worry and stress out. Oh no, what do I need to do? And then most of you will end up scrolling. Like for me, if I ever did that, then I'd go check my phone, I'd go scroll, I'd go wake up late, I'd be inconsistent, I wouldn't get stuff done, and before I know it, it would be like 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and I wouldn't have had anything done. And you guys are in the I know exactly how it feels to be in your position. It sucks, dude. I know you hardly get any work done. It sucks, and then you have to stay up later at night doing it. But yeah. Anyways, so when you're able to just get rid of all of that overthinking and you know exactly when you need to do stuff, what you need to do, how you need to perform it, it makes everything so much easier. You don't have to overthink it all, and all you have to really worry about is just, okay, sweet. I'll just wake up at this time, do my routine, dive into this, boom. When you have more work done in less time for your business, you create higher leverage for yourself. You create higher leverage, and that essentially means you're able to get more out with less. So essentially, for example, you delegate a task, and that task normally takes you about 5 hours a day, but it only maybe makes you like $100 for those 5 hours, so about $20 an hour. And you delegate it and you outsource it to someone for $5 an hour, so it costs $25 for them to manage those 5 hours of work, and so pretty much you're on a net negative of $75. However, now you've got an extra 5 hours of your day. Now imagine if you've got another high leverage task, or a high leverage task, let's say recording content, batching content, sales calls, etc., whatever it is for your specific business, which you make about, let's just say every time you do it, you make about $200. Right, or you close a sales, you have like extra time to like take, I don't know, 3-4 extra sales calls, and then make some more content, which contributes more to getting more of those sales calls, and then from there, let's say close one of them, even just one of them for like $500, $1,000, $2,000. Like, bro, that is high leverage right there. You get more out with less. It's really as simple as that, and you have more time to work on things which are going to increase your leverage even more, like your skills, for example. Now, like, I have so much more time to learn more sales, more marketing. I invested into another course recently, been going through so much of that and still doing all my inputs. It's just been amazing. It's been awesome. This is my current calendar and routine right here. So as you can see each day, so I'll wake up around 5:25 in the morning. I'll go and do my morning routine, my morning process, which helps me to get into the best state possible for the day. And then from there, on certain days, I will either work purely on marketing, right? So, for example, Sunday, Saturday, I'll work purely on the marketing side of things. So that'll be stories, Instagram reels, content if I haven't done like my batching for the week. And then from there, I will have certain days for like a big block of calls. So, for example, on the Monday and Wednesday and Friday, I'll have my big block of sales calls, client check-ins, any other calls that I need to take. And that allows me to have it all back to back to back to back, instead of having like meetings scattered throughout the day, or having like a day where I've got a bunch of calls and then a bunch of work. It makes it so much easier. Make it easier for yourself, right? Make it easier for yourself to like get more out and less. Now all I really need to do in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is just have all my sales calls back to back to back to back to back. And it's perfect because of my time zone. I'm from New Zealand. You might be from America, Australia, Canada, Europe. I don't know. Like either one of those countries, and it might be a bit different for you. Where you'd maybe want to take more of the calls in like the evening. But for me, because in the morning for me, like that's like afternoon for America, evening for Europe. So I have to like, those are where all my clients are pretty much from, as well as some in Aussie. That's why I've also got the client chickens down there, right? For specific clients of mine who are from Australia, from like, more of the eastern parts of the world, except for India. Anyways, so I've got the sales calls and client calls there. And then also on Tuesday, I will have a big editing and scheduling block. And this is because on the Monday, I will dedicate at least a good 2.5 hours of just recording content. So for example, for me today, I haven't exactly like this is funnily enough, because I've just started this new routine, and this week is a bit different. We've got Christmas, we've got Boxing Day, we've got like a lot of time with family. So I've had to just be able to squeeze in this video. But normally I would have this recording block and I would record at least 2 YouTube videos of this similar nature, like the educational, and then throughout the week, and what I'm going to be doing is like, let's say, documenting throughout my week, recording more throughout my week. Like you guys, I've got some big plans though. Like I've got some big plans to release more like vlogs, what I'm doing throughout my day, what my daily routine's like, who I'm helping out, my gym workouts, my like productivity routine, the time that I'll wake up, like, just recording content because I love it. It's so fun to do, eh? Like it's so fun just making content and recording content, and I love the vlog style of content. And I feel like it'll allow you guys to like understand me at like more of a personal level and be able to just truly connect more. And so you're gonna see more of those vlog style of content soon. And that's why throughout the week from now on, I recently bought a tripod. I'm gonna buy a camera soon as well, and just be able to record, as well as like extra value from me. But anyways, so as you can see down here, I'll have my first meal around about 12:30 in the morning, and sorry, 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And then from there, it'll normally take me about an hour. I'll have my eggs, I'll have some carbs as well for preloading before my gym workout. And I like to wait about, like a good hour or so before I go to the gym. I'll go to the gym, I'll do my workout, I follow a personal like pull push legs, pull push split. And then after that, if I've got time, what I'll normally do is I can go to the beach. It's like free time essentially, because I've done the main goal for each day is to do the main high leverage tasks in the morning, and to do all that work in the morning. Because dude, we don't want to have our business like, we don't want to be trapped inside of our business. We want to be able to, live a life that we want to be able to. Of course, don't be degenerate, don't take drugs, follow God, right? But I love going to the beach. I love spending time with close friends. I love being able to learn and gain new ideas, or gain new life experience, gain new skills, spend time with my family. These things are limited, and these things will benefit us as long as we're not doing anything degenerate, essentially. So don't make that mistake. I'm going to make a whole nother video on like my story. I think I already have. Yeah, check out the previous couple of videos anyway, where I've been talking about it, like my whole life story pretty much. Anyways, and then after that time period, I will do learning. I'll go and learn any sort of skill that I want to, or from the course that I've been learning at the moment, or applying more into my business, or more marketing, more stories. If like, go and follow me at Taylor Overton Biz, because you can see like my whole daily routine, pretty much just like me posting throughout my day. And then I'll have my dinner from around 6 to 7 p.m., help out with chores around the house if I need, because I still live with my parents at the moment. And then I'll do like another big learning block on most days. Or I'll do client check-ins, and I'll check in with my clients. I'll see how they're going. And that's more so for the Eastern world, like Australia, for example. Pacific, I've got a couple clients from like Thailand. And then I'll do my evening routine. right? And from there, it's just me winding down and preparing for the day ahead. And then after that, I will go and sleep. Now, straight away on that calendar, you can see every single hour, minute of the day planned out, right? You don't see, like, if you go back for a second, right, back to my calendar, you can see there's literally, like, no free time, pretty much. There's zero, like, free time for any BS or wasting time. It's literally only just the routine and that's it. And then also sleep, right? Because we need our sleep. And as you notice, it allows me to know exactly what I need to get done, when I need to get it done by, what am I doing throughout the day, when my work is, what events have I got planned, when I'm going to the gym, when I'm having my meals, when I'm working efficiently and deeply, what tasks I need to do, and overall allows me to be real specific with what I'm doing. And the thing is, will you become whatever you think about on a long enough time frame? And if you have something so specific that you're picturing and visualizing and knowing that you need to get done, at some point you're going to go ahead and do it. That's why with this routine, it's pretty much foolproof. If you don't know what you're doing, of course you are going to go ahead and not do anything, right? You're going to go waste time, you're going to procrastinate, you're going to scroll, and then when it comes back to trying to do your work, you just can't focus and then you get distracted again, right? Literally, most of you guys will straight up have calendars like this. This was my calendar last year. I had no idea of when to plan sleep, work, all of this, and this is also around the time where I was just real distracted. I was working 14, 16 hours a day with no direction, not really on high leverage tasks, and overall just wasting my time. You know, I had all my calls in place and my gym workouts in place, but I never actually like had the solid structure where, like, you know, I'd scroll so much, I'd go waste time. I had a girlfriend around the time, I'd just waste time texting and just I didn't have things properly structured and planned out to the point where I'd know when to do things. I'd sometimes forget family events and events with mates because I wouldn't even plan it out. It was literally just like exercise. Remember once I planned this deep work block and then I couldn't even get into it because I was already distracted. But now it's like already I know exactly when I need to wake up. I know exactly when I need to go and take my calls, when I need to do my marketing, what's my morning routine, what am I recording today, when my gym time is, all of that. I have no excuse but to do those things. I have no other option but to do them. It's literally as simple as that, bro. It's so simple. But yeah, the more clear and specific with thoughts, ideas, and structure, the more likely that it's going to be able to come into reality. And when you have just a general idea of your routine, it doesn't exactly help you out, bro. It's not exactly going to help you out. Oh, I've got an idea of how I want to go. Dude, shut up. Get specific. Instead of, okay, I want to become rich. I want to make $1.5 million a month by 20, right? Or instead of, oh, I want to have a routine. I want to wake up at 5:25 a.m. every single solitary morning for months on end. Instead of, oh, I want to go to sleep or on time. What does that even mean? What does on time mean for you, bro? Like 11 p.m., 3 a.m., 6 p.m.? Like, what time do you want to go to sleep, dude? What time? Pisses me off when I see people like this, man, because they don't even like know what they're doing throughout their day. They have an idea of what to do and they try and do it, and sure, you might get a bit of results. Maybe it's led you to the 1 to 3K a month mark that you're at currently, but it's not going to help you scale any further, and it's going to make you stuck at where you are. And it's going to be a lot harder for you to mess up or slip up, right? If you have a proper organized structure and routine. Like, your routine will be like the bubble wrap, or it'll be like the bubble wrap for you. Even if you mess up, even if you get distracted, or you procrastinate, or you lose focus, you still have that routine and calendar there. You still know what to do, and at some point you are going to get back to it, compared to if you have nothing there, and then you can do whatever you want. Just remember that. It's going to carry you back to the good habits and the inputs regardless, and it's going to get you into that good habit of doing the work more consistently, doing things more consistently, overall just changing your life. Most of you, yeah, I've already talked about that, but yeah, you need to plan every single hour as a non-negotiable. And I just want you right now list all the events that you currently do on a daily basis. I remember first time I ever did this, it was life changing because I started to find out what am I doing on a daily basis. What am I doing which is going to help me towards my goals? What am I doing which is going to make me more money? What am I doing which is making me less money? What am I doing which is destructive? And as of right now, like this is literally all I do. I'll sleep. I'll do my wake up and doing my morning routine. I'll do my deep work, so my product building, on certain days, or I'll do deep work recording, batching, editing on certain days. Deep work marketing every single day in the morning. DM setting sales calls on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Eating. I'll hit the gym, go for walks, I'll learn, I'll do chores, and I'll also spend time with my close mates and my family. I'll also do beach. I love going to the beach. I genuinely love it. It's like my third home. You've got my home and work, and then gym, and then the beach. I just love it. And then the evening routine, and then I'll go to sleep again. So that's pretty much about it as of currently. I want you to list all of that out of what you're doing, and then now we can start to plan the calendar, the routine, the schedule, and this is exactly the system that I followed with doing it with other creators who they were like doing really, really well with like their businesses. I remember seeing this video of this guy. I can't remember. It might have been either Brandon Carter or Jack Hopkins. It was either one of them, and they were talking about Google Calendar and planning out every single hour of the day, and having your deep work in the morning. I think it was Jack Hopkins who said that, yeah, of like the most high return on investment task you could be possibly doing. But yeah, dedicate at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep time in your Google Calendar, color code it, set it to daily. I'm telling you, when you set it to daily, because if you do just one time, sure, it helps for a day, and then before you know it, you have to do it all again the next day, and you're more likely to not do that and then mess up and then not plan the next day on your calendar and then get inconsistent. Whereas if you just set it to daily right now, even if it's not perfect, even if you know that a day this week you're going to have to wake up a bit earlier or you have to go to sleep a bit later because of this event, it doesn't matter. These are not the exceptions, but these are like the general rules, essentially, if you know what I mean. Morning process. Find a morning process for each day which gets you into a higher vibrational state. For me, right, because I've figured out my own morning process, I'll wake up at 5:25 a.m. every single solitary morning. No skipping, because screw skipping. That's just for people who are weak, for people who are not willing to put in the work that it takes. Like literally, my old self would have literally just, oh, I stayed up late tonight. I'll go sleep in tomorrow because I stayed up late and I need my 8 hours. And then I'd wake up at like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m., 9 a.m. When I was meant to wake up at 5:25. I tried the 5:30 thing for so long, I could never get consistent. Mainly from like June onwards this year, up till about October, even last month of November. And I was just such a posse for ages, bro. Like I never really got the hang of it. I never really I think this month I've messed up like 3 times and they were closer to the start of this month. And we're on the 23rd of December 2025. I've been so much more consistent. But yeah, like that is hard as waking up on time. But then as soon as I do that and I get into a bit of movement, I start to stack those wins. And then I will go and I'll make my bed because I think it all starts with making a bed. It's just momentum. Having a cold shower. I just prefer cold showers. It's not necessarily a discipline thing. It's more so just I prefer it. It's nice. It's refreshing. Wakes me up. And then after that, I'll pray because I'm Christian. I'll pray for the day. Pray for having a good day and for people in need. And then after that, I will go and journal out just whatever's on my mind, whatever I'm grateful for, whatever my mindset's thinking of, whatever my mind's thinking of for about a good 5 minutes or so. And then after that, I'll go and make myself a black coffee, straight to it. And I plan it out specifically on that morning routine part of the calendar so I know exactly when to do it. And then I set it to daily. Right? I want you to craft out a morning routine yourself, which gets you into that naturally positive state. You feel great about doing, you feel awesome, you feel energized. Go ahead and do that. It's so important. Anyways, work. Plan out your marketing, your sales, your product work, and your content and batching. And this is what I've done. Instead of just work, right, or even like on days where you've got your job, because I plan this over the holiday period where I'm not working, so where I'm not working full time, so it's a bit different, like until I start work again. But like for me, for in specific, right? So I've got my marketing block in the morning. I believe the morning is to market, the afternoon is to sell. Whereas for me, the time zones are different. I'm in New Zealand. I've also got to sometimes sell in the morning. So mornings for marketing, afternoons or whatever time zone you're from for selling, and then in the evening, building. Also in the morning, I like to build as well, and also recording and batching. So I love the marketing block there. I'll have that for every single day where I'm working on stories, reels, content, whatever it is to push my brand further out there. Sales, so on certain days, I've already explained that, but just plan out those blocks of time and try batch it more specifically for certain days. If you could have a day of the week, like which what I'm gonna have to do once I start working full time again, where on Saturday, for example, I'm gonna have to like batch a bunch of content, take a bunch of sales calls on a row, maybe do like a 12-hour day every Saturday, and then Sunday can be a bit more of a rest day for me, where I just more so schedule videos, upload, for example. But yeah, it's like all just down to that managing that time and just batching things. Because when you batch, you save yourself so much more time. Imagine if I had to work full time and then also having to record a video every single day and then make a reel and then make 15 Instagram stories and then take a client call, take sales calls. I would get so stressed. I would get no sleep at all. But if I batch it to specific days, I can still do real well, like my full time work during the week, and then also on the weekends, I can have another big block of time and then have a whole day free pretty much. Sunday, because it's Sabbath day for me. So, yeah. Have days dedicated to batching work, right? Dedicate your deep building work hours to deep, creative, uninterrupted work. Early in the morning, right? I recommend wake up early in the morning. That's going to be a completely different video. No music, no lights, no tabs except for the one that you're working on. Literally right now, I think I've only got this tab open. Messages, no messages at all, just you and the main big project that you're working on. Unless you've got like a big, for example, sales call, like recording, batching thing, then you have to maybe, dress nicely, turn on the lights, whatever. And that's what I do. Eating and training, because I don't want you guys to be pussies and skip your training or skip your exercise or whatever. It contributes directly to higher productivity levels. When you're able to train in the gym, you're able to do some exercise, boost your health. Like, you have higher testosterone, you have higher drive, you've got a passion other than work. You've got like another like fun thing to do except for work, and you overall just level yourself up. I want you guys to be able to hit the gym and do that consistently, or go for a run, or go for a walk, so whatever like makes you truly happy, or whatever contributes to you physically, right? But anyway, so eating, intermittent fast in the morning. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on that. Intermittent fasting is absolute key for your productivity. If you aren't doing that, you're doing stuff wrong. Do not eat in the morning. Just simple, like when you're doing your high leverage tasks, you don't want to have food in your system. I get it if you have to go and hit the gym in the morning before your work. I probably have to do that when I work again. So, maybe having to eat preload on carbs and then go to the gym. So I might have to possibly do that, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, have your first eating block about 4 hours after waking up most of the time, if you just have your business. So have your first meal, let's say you wake up at 5, have your first meal at least 9 o'clock onwards. For me, I take it a bit further. I won't eat till about 12 or 1. Like, sometimes I'll forget and I won't even eat till like 5 p.m. because I'm just like working. I love it, you know. But that was when I was a bit more unstructured compared to now. I will eat around 12:30. Yeah, 12:30 to 1:30. Um, and then afterwards, I'd say wait for about, let's say, 90 minutes if you've had carbs, for example. And then before you go and, you've carb loaded, you go and work out, you get a real good pump, you've got the glycogen in your muscles. If you run, you can run in the morning. I occasionally run. I'm trying to like cancel a bit more of it out now because I'm focused more so on walking for my cut. Um, but yeah, I would just suggest just plan your exact workout and training. Plan exactly what you're going to hit for the day. set it to daily, but also like each day you can like edit it slightly, and you could be like, okay, Monday's chest, Tuesday's back, Wednesday's legs, Thursday's this run, Friday's this, whatever it is. Plan it out specifically. Learning, right? And this is the thing. When you're able to dedicate your high leverage time of the day in the morning, as opposed to later in the night where you need to work more and more. It's funny because I'm working right now technically, but normally on a normal day, I would be learning right now. I would be learning more marketing, sales, communication. Plan it out for the nighttime. Plan it out like around the evening where you can dedicate time to learning and refining your skills and refining your craft, doing what it takes. Like just dude, learning is just like, especially skills, high income skills, sales, marketing, communication, content creation. Master these, I'm telling you, even an hour of day of each one. Like it sounds crazy, like 4 hours a day of learning. What? Like I'm trying to make it so I could possibly fit it into my schedule too. Like maybe not 4 hours a day, but like even just an hour a day. Like that adds up to a good 300 hours over the year. And on top of that, if you're able to get a mentor, especially in terms of productivity and performance, and if you want to, and if you feel like you're qualified, book a call down below with the first link. But with that, like when you're learning those higher income skills, and if you've got a coach to help you do so, dude, it can take less than like 20 hours, like deliberate focus practice. Like imagine that. And then you master sales forever, for example. Or you master marketing forever, for example. And then you never have to worry about your income again. And then boom, you've created like literally infinite more times leverage in your business. I know guys who've done it, and now they literally all they do is just work in the morning, and the rest of the day is free. Like they don't even have to learn, or they do learn, but they have so much more free time. Seriously, dude, it's something which I'm doing now. It's deliberate, intentional practice. Anyways, yeah, make sure you set that learning block to daily. Evening routine, right? This is incredibly important. Winding down into bed, I will have normally a warm shower. I'll go and relax. I'll go and like turn off my devices. I'll plan out the next day. Before I turn off my MacBook, I'll plan out my next day. All on Notion. Then after that, I'll go ahead and just relax a bit more, wind down, spend time with the family, stretch, and then I'll pray. I'll put on my eye mask and my mug report tape so I don't mouth breathe at night and I don't see anything. And then from there, I sleep. And then I knock out like probably within about 5 to 10 minutes a night. I sometimes, to be honest, like my schedule's been kind of cooked this month in terms of sleep. So I can't exactly say too much about sleep. I've been maybe sleeping like 5-6 hours a night. So mine are my main missions at the moment is just to try and get better and better sleep. Last night I had about 6 hours and 45 minutes, so that was decent. But I'm just trying to like actively improve mine, trying to get it to the best I can. But anyway, set that to daily. Social events. If there's anything which pops up in your routine, and this is a big one, because I dealt with like the whole social life thing this year, and I kind of regret it, but I also learned a lot. But for example, like you're hanging out with your close mates, or you've got a family event, or you want to go to the beach, or you want to go for a hike, or if you've got a big event happening. Plan it in advance for the week. On your Sunday planning, go to your calendar, and when you know that an appointment's happening or a event is happening, plan it in advance. Make sure that people can't book meetings with you. Make sure that your work's scheduled around that time so you still get the work done for the day, and then you still get to have fun, you still get to enjoy yourself, you still get to create memories, all of that. And then if something doesn't go to plan, right, I originally thought I was going to record this video at 5 o'clock today. I had all sorts of plans change, and now it's 8 o'clock, right? So, but I have scheduled it in my calendar, so I know that I'm going to be recording this at this time. Yeah, feel free to skip aspects, or not really skip, but just shift around and change aspects of the routine for it, and plan the routine around this event. Make sure everything for the day still gets done. That's another whole thing, just like following your promises. Don't do more than 2 to 3 times social events a week. I've made that mistake where I try hanging out with someone every day, or I try doing all sorts of stuff, and a lot of the time it's just like it was just me being insecure because I was afraid to be isolated or be lonely. When in reality, like I've developed probably the most when I'm like just by myself or by like a close circle of people and not really tons of people. And yeah, that's pretty much like the entire video. Like we've pretty much covered through all of that. I didn't develop like a last slide. Um, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a bit of a longer video. I hope you found heaps of value and heaps of help out of this. If you guys want to find out how you can specifically integrate a full routine, calendar, productivity system into your life and business so you can scale faster whilst working less and whilst working more efficiently and higher leveraged, feel free in the first link of the description. If you think you're qualified, and if I know that you're qualified, to go book a call with me where we can talk one-on-one more about that. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and crush it, smash it. Peace out, my bro. Peace out.